morning walk-in. Because the sun's coming out, I'm going to get over to the tree area pretty quick so I can still read the screen, at least for a good chunk of this. And quick reminder though, if you guys get in here, leave a comment down below if you're following this after the fact. It always helps with my engagement. Also want to remind everyone I have coaching slots open. Again, plenty of coaching slots. You guys are seeing client vlog. You see what my people are doing. So again, people know I get people results. We've had tons and tons of vlogs, tons of footage. I've had client interviews, So you guys have an idea of what I do there. Y'all already know. And my prices are pretty reasonable. So my people get results. I get people to 500-pound squats and get them jacked. Hello, Primey. Doing good. How are you doing? So we're just out walking. So I already did a bench press session. I'm almost thinking of, after today's session, I almost feel like I've been running conjugate again a couple of months. I almost feel like just power building for a little while. But I like this upper lower thing I'm doing again. And I might go over to just doing a top set and then do my same sort of accessory work, because I still get super strong at lifts. But I did a few months here and it let me kind of peak some strength back up. And see where I'm at, make sure where my speed strength is, where my maxes are, where my weak links are. So I'm really heavily considering just doing top single sets on squat, bench, and deadlift, and just doing the same sort of split I'm doing now. I'm actually considering it, almost certain I'm gonna do it, mainly because I get a little doing all the setting everything up for conjugate. But yeah, it's fun, I enjoy it. A lot of my clients love it. And I think it was good for me to run a phase so that it shows people that I will program it for clients. So I have multiple clients running conjugate. But I almost feel like just doing some heavy top sets again and just building muscle afterwards. But with the same approach I'm doing with conjugate, because I feel like this is really successful. And just focusing on getting just thick. I really feel like I just need to make lean gains again at this point. I've got to thicken up, because that's the only way my lifts are going to go up. What are you talking about? I'm talking about training, Anna. What do you think we talk about? That's what this channel is. 48-year-old strength athlete and coach who's been doing this channel for 13 years. So notice the name of the channel. I also realized, looking after the fact, when you do these live streams through the phone like this, there's no way, there's actually no way for me to make all these comments appear after like they do on the desktop. Like, there's no setting for it. So it's kind of an interesting thing to note. They don't appear like they do on the others. Will you compete in any meets this year? You know the rule, NACO. If I announce a meet, it's a lie. So if I ever tell you I'm doing a meet, it's a complete distraction to make my crazy stalkers go attack that meet and to leave me alone, right? So what answer do you want? Keep in mind, every meet I do, the venue gets bomb threats and everything else, right, from goofball crazy stalkers. And because meet officials are too stupid to call the police on them and call the FBI like they're supposed to, it leaves me to do it every time. So, no offense to Bobby, but he's no longer meet director though, out here. Sorry, didn't know the trolling was that. Why didn't you know it's that extreme? They make videos about it, and it's all over everyone's feed. What do you think those videos are about? All those hate videos are about stalkers. Those are the people who make them. But we need to quit talking about that. Let's talk about positive stuff. But that being said, as a general rule, I will never announce ahead of time to the internet where I'm going to be, so that you guys know that rule. I don't tell you where I'm going to be or when. Just the nature of it. I have a question about fats and digestion. Eating more fats help to slower digestion. So here's my question for you. Is this for a research paper, or are you looking for a practical application? Andres. People love to do this with nutrition. They love to come up with theories. I have a theory that if I slow my digestion, X or Y will happen, without going to research. So yes, obviously, eating more fat will slow digestion. It'll slow gastric emptying a little bit, at least of the fats, not always the other stuff. So yeah, there will be some slowdown. So my question becomes, are you seeking something specific from it? You know, people ask the wrong questions, and I find this a lot. A lot of times people are looking for things like, hey, I'm trying to lose fat. Hey, I'm trying to stay full longer. Hey, I'm trying to gain muscle. And they jump to things like this instead of saying, hey, how can I gain more muscle? You know, and I get that a lot with training and nutrition questions, because people, again, they make assumptions that there's some benefit they're going to get from doing this, or negative. I came across an old video of yours where you said 5 hard sets will stimulate Well, don't listen to that. No, 100% is a stretch. I have no clue about who you are, but I want to make sure you're looking after yourself. So I have to sip water and take some. You're awesome. You're doing a great job. Okay, awesome. Thank you. No, dude, I mean, I'm hydrated. I'm super hydrated. I've only had black coffee. I'm still fasted in the mornings, but after I train, after I get my cardio done, I eat. I'm very hydrated. I'm very electrolyted up, to put it mildly. Like, I do a ton of potassium, sodium, magnesium in my diet. If I'm farting a lot and shitting, it probably not absorbing. Okay, Andres. If that's happening, you have an intolerance or an allergy to something you're eating. There's something specific in your diet that you need to fix. So there's where you need to start, Andreas. You need to start with, hey, I'm having a farting and loose stool issue with what I'm eating. Not, hey, can I slow my digestion with something? You need to come over and say, why am I having this problem? There's your solution. You have an intolerance to something you are consuming every day. You're lactose intolerant, or something else is happening. Okay, I'm looking for progressing on my lifts. How long did your morning walks? I do a minimum of 30 minutes a day, as I'm going to repeat over and over. I don't track steps. I don't track miles. I never have no interest in it. I just go for time. My minimum is 30 minutes of walking. Will TRT after 50 help me lose body fat? Let's go back over to, let's drop the qualifier. TRT means you have low testosterone and you're doing a replacement of testosterone. So meaning if you can get TRT, it means you medically qualify for TRT, okay? So we don't need to throw the age in. Yes, TRT at any age has some potential for helping you with body recomposition, particularly losing a little body fat. Okay, makes sense? Because if you have low testosterone, you accumulate body fat easier in men. That's pretty well known. But it's not going to be night and day. What's the best place? I don't know where you can buy Tren, dude. I'm not going to tell you sources. Like, sorry, dude, I don't know you that well. If volume is equal, is high frequency superior compared to high volume? I don't know. I think that is too reductionist of a statement, because what do you mean high frequency? Frequency past a certain threshold can become counterproductive also. So you're looking at different variables trying to say, hey, is this one variable always better? Well, no, there's going to be an optimal point with anything you're doing. And I'm going to say, if you're not a ranked novice, you really need to be careful doing more than about twice a week per muscle group. Unless you like certain things you can get away with if you know what you're doing. It's not going to be optimal otherwise. So do you see the problem with the question? I'm fine right now. This is Andreas, just trying to avoid farting too much and trying to use the bathroom hours. Okay, you need to find out what's causing the problem. Are cashews good to have? Sure, cashews are a good healthy fat, healthy food. But Andreas, I mean, honestly, you're at consultation level questions, you're eating something in your diet that's causing GI tract distress, you need to take a bunch of food logs, hit me up on Facebook. I charge $100 for consultations. I just did one last night. We can get in a video call and I can go over your dietary issues of what's happening, see if we can identify your intolerance and sort it out. Okay. What do you mean you don't have any issues? You just gave me this whole spiel about it. Make up your mind. All right, I'm theorizing that if you were pooping often, well, I assumed you were asking a question about a personal problem. No, if you're farting, not necessarily. That's just a buildup of methane in your GI tract. But no, the farting isn't necessarily interfering with absorption. Loose stool is. There's an old video here as I'm trying to find, you mentioned. Usman, how about we don't dig up really old 10-year videos to create arguments? How about we stick with the more current content? I have updated a lot of stuff over the last 12 years. So, and I just personally can't stand arguing about my old videos. I don't have time for it. I'm like, keep up with the 17 corrections I've made since then. There's no need to dig through the old, trying to find conflicting data. If volume is the most important variable, it's not. Okay, done. I can finish that question. We don't even need to read the rest. All right, let me finish your whole question, Benjamin. If volume is the most important variable for muscle growth, and it's not, does it really matter if you train a muscle once a week, twice a week on the body parts, push, pull legs? All right. It all matters. No, you can't say, hey, if X is the most important thing, then all this doesn't matter. No, you can't say that. That's a ludicrous statement. Yes, it all matters. Okay. All right. Hey, Andreas, what do you mean? Is your bulking video? I've made hundreds of videos discussing bulking and different approaches to it, so I don't understand your question. Husband says, fair enough, coach. Yeah, keep in mind, guys, I have over 12,000 videos on this channel that have accumulated over well past a decade. I am going to update stances and positions over time based upon experience, based upon scientific research. You know, that's just how it works. Is 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight enough for maximizing muscle growth? Absolutely, it's more than is required. Are there other potential metabolic benefits to exceeding that protein? Yes. There could be situations with tendon recovery. There could be situations with collagen synthesis. There's also different metabolic things and thermic effect and metabolic benefits that can occur from ultra high protein intakes. But as far as muscle growth, 1 gram per pound of body weight actually exceeds what is necessary for optimal growth by a small margin. So again, that's why we always want to be specific in those questions. And that's not my opinion. That is tons and tons of research on literally professional Olympic lifters, bodybuilders, so on and so forth. We'll start watching the newer content, those bag pushing, weaponsmithing. See, to me, the weaponsmithing isn't even nostalgic. That was middle. Does that make sense? That was like midway through my YouTube. That wasn't even early YouTube. Could a novice hit a 315 squat, 225 bench, and 4-5 deadlift in a year that require a large amount? No. Where's your starting point? So again, you're asking too vague of a question. I don't know. What do you weigh already? I mean, technically, people have cut the entire time and hit those numbers. So I can give you an extreme case. I watched a guy. I looked at his vlog. I read his whole training log early on a forum 10 years ago, earlier on in my work, where he ran my novice program, and he passed those numbers in a year, and he cut the entire time. He cut all the way down to 200 pounds while reaching those numbers. He started at like 300 pounds and dieted for a year and passed all those numbers because he was a fat guy. All right. Is collagen protein powder? Collagen protein powders are pretty much a scam at this point. It would be the best call to make on it based upon all the data. Objectively speaking, a whey protein is superior for every goal, possibly even protein synthesis. Go put a shirt on. Your mama doesn't want me to put a shirt on. Andreas says, well, you're 145 pounds. So, all right, Andreas. So yeah, you didn't start at 300. So you probably don't want to lose 100 pounds while running the program. You could very slowly lean bulk up 1 pound a month. So you're 145, you're weak because you don't have any size. You could make lean gains and slowly bulk up. Right? Spend the next year getting up to 160 while following it. Right? Hey, Taj, that's a really weird random question, and I don't even understand what that means. Where was I during this some whatever shooting is just stupid. All right. I don't even know who that is. Who's your favorite actor? Actor, so can't be with an S. I prefer women to men as a general rule. So can I change it to actress and just say, I don't know, Scarlett Johansson. I don't know, favorite actor. I don't know if I have a favorite actor. Hugh Jackman. There we go. I'll just pick one. No. What's his name? Who would really be my favorite actor? And I can't even remember his name now. Guy who played John Wick, Neo, Bill and Ted. Why can't I remember his name? I'm terrible with actor names, by the way. I only think of them as their roles. All right. How do we string? I don't know. Push day, pull day, same day or different? I don't understand your question. Please ask it a different way. Also, get those likes up, guys. There's only 6 likes in here. A bunch of y'all asking questions. We got 6 likes. Hit that like button for daddy. Need to get them likes up. Come on now. Hit the likes. Wait a minute, we lost a like. Somebody hit a dislike when I said that. What's wrong with you people? Oh no, now people dropping out. This is not a very lively live today. There we go, we're getting some likes now. Hit that like button, guys, come on. This Taj guy is a weirdo. I'm gonna let him sit for a while, but he's a weirdo. Do you try to be stone cold Steve Austin? No. I don't drink beer or any of that stuff, so no. And I'm not a pro wrestler. Okay, so does that sum it up? People ask some strange questions. Push day on its own day or with pull weight day? Well, I don't know what sort of programming you're doing. If you're doing a push-pull legs, then I guess they're going to need to be on separate days, right? Like, so if you're saying a push day, well, yeah, if it's a push day, that means it's its own day. So by the wording of your question itself, you've already answered it. Are you currently taking a higher dose than TRT? I would never do such a thing. My friend, I am a law-abiding citizen. And everything, this is my official public statement. I want this official public statement on record. Everything that I do is 100% legal and prescribed by a doctor. That is my official legal statement for you to submit to the police to answer your question. All right. How do you like that answer? I am a law-abiding citizen and everything I take is 100% legal and prescribed by a doctor officer. All right, next. Would you ever get into professional wrestling? Yeah, dude, they're totally hiring 50-year-old men to get into professional wrestling from YouTube. That's literally what they do. Right? Thoughts on vitamin D and omega-3? Well, vitamin D is a steroid hormone that is also a vitamin, so it's a lipid, and it's essential for a number of functions in the body. You'll die without it. Omega-3 is a category of longer chain fatty acids that are polyunsaturated, and ALA, one of them is essential. The others are non-essential. They can be made from it. You will die without sufficient quantities of it. Okay, next question. Have you ever seen anyone abuse, and have you that's another weird question. Okay. Have I ever seen anyone abuse TRT? How can you abuse something that is prescribed and regulated by a medical doctor? TRT is testosterone replacement therapy prescribed by a doctor. How can you possibly abuse a prescription you are legally getting from a doctor? That's a really dumb question. Or do you mean, have I seen people abuse astronomical amounts of anabolics and die young from it while stacking them with all sorts of other drugs? Yes, I have personally lost 2 different friends to this. But it's nothing to do with TRT. Do you think a person lives in UK or Sweden has a vitamin D3 deficiency? Maybe. You can go to your doctor. They can pull blood work and tell you. Probably, why aren't you answering these people? Should a novice eat fats or avoid them? You need a minimum amount of fat for health and to not die. But a novice could certainly do a really low fat diet. Like you could do a chicken, broccoli, and rice type diet, right? But do you need to avoid fats? Not necessarily. Would 30 full rep push-ups equal to close to 1 rep bodyweight bench press? I don't know. Why are we trying to equate push-ups to bench press strength? I don't know. I don't do push-ups. J-Man says, I only eat fat. You'll die. All right, how much per day? Like 40 grams? Andreas, if you're wanting me to prescribe nutrition information, this falls under consultations. All right? We're over to coaching now. I don't know how many grams of fat you need a day. But 40 is a decent number for a low-fat diet, sure. Is 16% body fat average on the leaner side? The average American male is like 30% body fat, so 16 is actually quite lean compared to average. No, 16% is in the optimal health range, actually, medically. 80% of my calories are from fat. Well, I don't recommend you do that. MPF says, I can do 30 full rep push-ups and nowhere nearby doing body weight push-ups. Is a nope, it's not equal. Is David Lade natty? Objectively speaking, no. David Lade's on plenty of gear. Hey, J-Man, I'm very familiar with keto. It's not like I haven't done hundreds of videos over the years explaining ketogenic diets. I'm just telling you 80% fat is not anywhere near ideal. I would never recommend that unless it is prescribed by a doctor for something like epilepsy. Powder peanut butter, yes. Powder. I mean, peanut butter can be fine. I don't know about that powdered stuff. Maybe if you're adding it as flavoring to something. 16% is good. Males should aim for, yeah, I agree, MPF. Anything under 20%, you're good to go for overall health. I mean, you're not going to be shredded, but what are we looking for? Yep. Who, in your opinion, is the greatest bodybuilder ever? I'm going to go with Arnold. Do you think a 405 bench press is achievable, Natty? 405 bench presses are insanely rare, Natty. So, Ebo, your question is like asking me, do you think that it's possible to win the lottery? Yeah, it's totally possible to win the lottery. That's the equivalent question. Now, keeping in mind, we're also talking how much body weight. We're talking a relatively lean guy, natural benching 405, 1 in a million. The average person does not have the genetics to achieve that, no matter how good of a coach they have. They just don't. 400-pound fat guy, probably a lot more achievable natural. More important question is why not stay? Why would you take gear? Why do people take gear, MFD? So, I mean, I'm not sure if that's a serious question. People take it for the quality of life, right? I think people are not factoring in the quality of life benefits, why a lot of people take moderate amounts of gear. So that's why a lot of people do it. I mean, all things considered. Is rounding the lower back during squats a cause for concern? Maybe, maybe not. Depends on what's happening with your movement pattern, why it's happening. Does it hurt? If it's not painful, probably not a problem. But it could also be there's something wrong with your technique. It could be a hamstring weakness. But the main thing I would always say, is it painful or not? Probably pretty high on the list of important things to ask with that, if it's a cause for concern. Is it excessive and is it painful? And I think for a lot of people, if you get excessively deep enough past the grass, you're going to see some rounding of the lumbar. I've seen some super strong guys have it and not get hurt, by the way. And I don't mean 500-pound squatters. I mean, I've seen some guys out there who have it with 800 pounds. They seem to be okay. When was the last time you had? I haven't had pizza in over a year. What do you think of SARMs gobbling? SARMs are stupid, personally. I don't know why people bother with SARMs. Just use a real thing. SARMs, they're like steroids, only they cost more money, have the same side effects, and produce less results. And they're not FDA approved. I don't have thoughts on vegan gains or any diagnosis he has at all, to be honest. You asked me what to think about him being diagnosed with cryptosis. I don't really care. Leg extensions to leg presses is a second quad exercise. I'm generally going to go with a leg press after a squat. Yeah. People over here act like SARMs don't have the same side effects as gear. And then they're running super small amounts of them. I'm like, dude, nobody has side effects on 200 milligrams of test or DECA either. What are you talking about? Start taking 200 milligrams a day of that SARM and then come talk back to me about it. Like, I can't afford that. Yeah, because they're 5 times as expensive as steroids. All right, I prefer leg extensions, good for your needs. Yeah, they can be good as a finisher. I think you're going to get a lot more out of a leg press. I know what cryptosis is. It's too smooth. But I just don't care that vegan gains are diagnosed with it. Since you find traditional stretching to be ineffective, what advice would you have for improving ankle mobility? Deep squat, loaded stretching, third world squats. Wait, so we can build muscle and get jacked while being lean? Yes. Lordicon says, good morning to you too, homie. Like 144 pounds, 5'10", I'm in no rush to eat a lot. Yeah, dude, if you're that there, you can make lean gains for the next 2-3 years just fine. You can probably stack on lean muscle with no significant fat gain for the next 2 or 3 years, dude. Just slowly gain weight and train. It's not that big of a deal. Can every healthy natural achieve a 315 bench? No, I don't know that every natural can achieve a 315 bench. I think the average natural can if they apply themselves long enough and consistently enough. But not everyone, no. Big chest and back or big shoulders and arms, which looks better? I don't know, Benjamin. I'd have to think that through a lot, I suppose. I suppose if you go too far to any extreme, though, unbalanced, it's not going to look good. Let's just work on all of them. Okay, I didn't know you was aware of the issue. Really, I don't care at all about vegan gains. Like you hope, I just have no opinion or concerns for vegan gains at all. I'm just going to call it what it is. All right. He's a guy who basically loves to trash talk me for no reason. And it's so whatever. Good morning, Dean. How you doing? When's the last time lamb? I haven't had lamb in a long time. I don't remember the last time I had it. Do you think eating fats in order to help protein absorption? I don't know how eating fats will help protein absorption. All right, guys, I'm pretty much home. We're past my minimum walk time for the day. I love all you guys and gals, and I will talk to you next time.